let's jump into some questions. Now, as I always have to say, the views and opinions of Randy do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of New Leaf Publishing Group, Master Books, any of its subsidiaries, or Kristen Pratt or my children. So just so that there's an indemnification of everybody else, that everyone knows they're not responsible for the things that I say. So good. Okay. Let's see. Shepherd's Path. Motivation. What is your advice on motivating kids, tween age kiddos, to get their work done in a timely manner, not dragging it out all day with a good attitude? That's a good question. Especially, it's not always easy, right? Like, who do you procrastinate any of your tasks? Right? Like, what motivates you? Like, do the dishes ever build up? Does certain household chores build up where it's like, I should do this, but I really don't want to? Well, that's kind of what happens, right? Like, school isn't necessarily always fun. It's a task that needs to be done, and if we're not enjoying it, then that's kind of what we get. And how do you motivate yourself? Like, sometimes it's like you either give yourself a treat or you just know you just got to do it, so you just buckle down and do it. Sometimes you may even have a bad attitude to do it. There are some tasks where I may be a little bit more volatile when I do it. My family just gives me space, and I get through it. Now I'm not abusive. I'm not advocating bad behavior. I'm just saying whatever it takes to get through it, just get through it is sometimes what we have to do as adults. And I think we can give our kids that same freedom. You can't have a bad attitude that destroys the house, tears everybody down, whatever. I don't necessarily need you being grins and giggles to get it done. I just need you to get it done. And so that's one. I think rewarding the behavior you want is another good one. And then sometimes, so if there's a treat or a reward or an incentive, that's helpful. And then sometimes it's can you give them a little bit of grace? For instance, if they're let's say they know the work, right? Or they're reading it and they're doing a good job. Give them a little reward and tell them, hey, you know what? We're gonna skip answering. Let's just read today. Not that you want to do this all the time, but like, you want to reward the brain sometimes. You want to make this like, we're a team. We're getting through this. I don't think. Yeah, we put 10 questions in, but do they always need 10 questions to answer? Not always, right? Just because there's 10 questions, maybe we do every other question. And so it's not every time, but it's just something different, right? I remember I went to a private school, and we went to a church camp. This doesn't even include academics, but all I can think of is this. We go to a church camp. Well, everybody goes to sleep at 2 a.m. We get up and sneak out the windows, and the boys' cabin and the girls' cabin got together. It was a Christian school, so we were all well behaved. We snuck out the cabin. We were on a lake. Our parents think we're safe. We're at Lake Erie State Park, and we all break out of the cabins thinking our chaperones are asleep. We walk to the lake on cliffs in the middle of the night, and we're just all laying there looking up at the stars. And we're talking and everything, and all of a sudden, one of the moderators, the chaperones that were there, says, "Right there's the Big Dipper, and that's the star." And we all realized that we had been caught. But he never made a big deal about it. Like, he snuck out the window with us, and normally he probably would have been one more like that, but he was just one of us. And that changed our perspective of him in a lot of ways, right? It was just, he was he was like, I get it. You guys are teenagers, and this is something for a moment that we can just enjoy here. Sometimes in school, you can kind of be that. Like, you can just give yourself permission to say, you know what? We're not even going to do this page, right? Just, I hate to say be cool, because that's not the right word. But, yeah, just think of yourself. Imagine if you came in. In fact, do this. Here's one. Imagine if somebody came in and you have dishes in the sink and they're building up, and somebody came in and said, hey, I love to do dishes, so I'm going to do dishes. So you sit down and you take their book and you tell them, you help them. Like, you fill out the answers for that page. Now, that's not practical for more than once or twice a year. But just think about the effect of a student seeing, Mom just came in, sat down, and did my schoolwork for me. That's kind of a cool thing, right? Like, let me just help you today. And as I do it, I'm going to tell you the answers. So, again, views and opinions do not represent. Okay. Let's see. Anna Paul, I'd appreciate tips for keeping basic 4 subjects going for my 3rd and 6th grader. In the past, we combined history, science with my youngest following the year. This year, they'll each have their own courses, so I'm nervous about it all coming together. Thanks in advance. Anna Paul, great question. Everybody has, Montana Mama, I'd rather do schoolwork than dishes. Trade them. Tell them, hey, if you do the dishes and I'll do your schoolwork. We'll see how long that lasts. That would be a life lesson, wouldn't it? I'll trade you schoolwork for dishes. Deal? It'll take them all day to do dishes. Probably won't be worth it. Okay, anyways. Anna Paul, questions about 3rd and 6th grader, basic 4 subject sets. So our curriculum is designed to be independent. And this is where, if you've heard the tagline, Homeschool for the Real World, the real world is a mom is busy and a mom has her own work to do, and kids can do their work. And so the work is written in a way that when you hand it to them, it even tells them, today you're doing this work, you go to this page, you read this, you answer these questions, you're done. It's that easy. And so that's what I would really encourage, is to encourage independent learning, and that they take responsibility for the learning, and you become more of a coach, a guide, not the teacher. The teacher is the book, and the teacher is the student. If that makes sense. You are there to help facilitate teaching and learning, and if you get sucked into having to do the work for them, now there's 2 people doing the work that one person should be doing. It's extremely ineffective. If you enjoy teaching, that's different, right? But many moms are very busy and need students to be capable of doing their own work. So we have school time. When the kids were younger, it was different. Now the kids, we really only have 1.5 kind of. One's finishing up a senior year, and our 15-year-old is capable of, doing his own work when he needs to. So that's what I would recommend, is really kind of focusing on the independent learning. And you may need to tell them, listen, this year is going to be a little different, right? Because now you're independent, you're growing up to be big boys and girls, and so because of that, you're going to be taking some of the responsibility for your own life, and that's an awesome thing. It's a difficult thing sometimes, but it's something that we need to do. And then I'm going to be here to help you. And so if you have a question, you can do that. Carrie says, maybe I'm not the carpenter, maybe I'm the contractor, my kids are the carpenters. Carrie, I think we may be onto something here. I think we could brainstorm this a little bit, because ideally, who is responsible for the learning? And I'm sure some of you are using some of the AI tools that are available. I'm predicting a major revolution in education in the very short future. And I think more than ever, our children are going to have to learn to navigate truths and mistruths. They're going to have to understand how to be responsible for input, how to process input, how to use it, and also understand a biblical framework. I think a huge mistake that's going to be made by educators is putting children on devices too early and relying on AI too early when the prefrontal cortex isn't ready and there's more development that needs to take place. So I think there's going to be a lot of change that's coming in the home education market. Some good. I mean, it's amazing to have the world at our fingertips, to be able to do amazing things, to create prototypes, and you know, that's amazing. But the devices, the electronics, they're already showing that people who use AI have different brain wiring, and so that's just something that we I think we have to be guarded with. So hopefully, Anna Paul, that gave a little bit